His grandson, Kublai. He rules over the whole of China, Persia, and part of India.
The priest taught us no one lives in the lands of darkness. Only beasts and evil spirits.
One day they will learn the truth.
What is the truth? A place is like the one you call China. What's it really like?
It's a vast country. Bigger and richer than anyone could possibly imagine.
Mother said you've gone to find your fortunes.
And so we did, Marco. Here are a few turquoise, rubies, pearls, and emeralds.
Stop! They're not to play with.
We were nearly killed for them. As soon as we reached the shores of Christianity, bandits attacked us.
They took most of what we had. These we saved by hiding them.
I've never seen stones of such beauty. I could buy a shipload of cloth with just one or two of them.
No, these are nothing. We had to leave behind most of what we own.
The Khan took it as security. He wants to make sure we'll go back.
You see, Marco, we're not exactly as we seem. We left as merchants, but we returned as ambassadors from the great Khan to the Doge of Venice. I thank you, noble Doge, and you, Patriarch, for having honored me and my brother with your summons. We are bearers of great news. The days of Genghis Khan are long over, my gracious lord, except it seems in the imagination of Europe. His successor, Kublai, is a man of peace, cultured and tolerant.
Yet you said he had conquered more territory than his grandfather.
It's true, my gracious lord, 3 times as much. But now his only wish is for trade and the ties of friendship.
Friendship with the barbarian?
In many ways, sir. China is very much like Europe.
China?
Yes, China. Or Cathay, as you call it.
And you expect us to believe that? Everyone knows that these Mongols are a race of bloodthirsty savages.
Yet on our way here, it was only when we reached civilization that we were robbed. Before that, we had traveled thousands of miles, armed only with the golden passes given us by the Khan when he appointed us his ambassadors. My lord,
But it is gold. Pure gold. You said your main interest was trade.
we are merchants, my lord.
The advantages to Venice and to us all, through an agreement between your Serene Highness and the Khan, is obvious.
To your master, no doubt. But what does he have that would interest us Venetians?
Mountains of gold, diamonds, silver and lapis lazuli, seas full of pearls, silks and spices and precious furs.
He discussed it fully with his ministers. In 2 to 3 years, we can open up a trade route from Venice to the heart of his empire. A channel for a constant stream of priceless goods that would turn our city, Venice, into the storehouse of Europe.
Trade on such a scale with the infidel would inevitably lead to wholesale corruption and the perversion of our Christian souls.
We've lived amongst them for many years, my Lord Bishop. Yet our faith is firm and unaltered.
So you say. I myself find it suspicious that this approach was made by your master at this time.
Why say you, sir?
You have been blinded by the wealth of your Khan and by his promises of trade. In Europe, many kings, many princes of the church are calling for a holy crusade to rid the world forever of the Mongol scourge. Soon, your master shall tremble as he faces the soldiers of the cross.
My Lord Bishop, the Mongol Empire is 10 times greater than the Empire of Alexander. It stretches from Russia and Persia through India to the farthest shores of China.
The surrounding world lives in its shadow. If attacked, the Khan could put millions of men into the field. We tremble for Venice and for all Christianity if its leaders should choose to provoke his anger.
Porte inferi non prevalebunt. The gates of hell shall not prevail.
Be that as it may, the first concern of our republic is the salvation of souls, as you well know, Patriarch. But now we are not here to discuss a new crusade. Let us try to examine more closely what the brothers Polo report to us. As you say, you are merchants, and therefore unaware of the diplomatic obstacles involved. Even as to trade, I see great practical difficulties. Not least the shipment of huge sums of gold over the distances you speak of.
But huge sums of gold change hands every day in China, my lord, in the form of paper money.
Paper money?
Yes.
Each of these notes is stamped with its own true value in silver or gold. Redeemable at any time from the Khan's treasury.
They are promissory notes.
Yes, but for the future.
They're the most usual type of money in the empire.
Provided that your Khan keeps enough true gold and silver to guarantee them.
So this is the money our serene republic is expected to trade for at the risk of its immortal soul. Flimsy squares of paper.
It's not the paper, sir, but the value it represents.
Which is precisely nothing. At any moment, your Khan can refuse to honor it.
It's a question of trust.
Trust the infidel?
Master Polo, this is money. The only real money. It speaks. It has its own voice.
Singing money. Not exactly.
A candle, please. And it is indestructible. But this, an illusion. It has no weight or value a man can see. How can we trust what the merest accident can destroy?
You have just burnt the equivalent of 20 pounds of silver. Congratulations.
I must repeat that the Holy Church is utterly opposed to any treaty or arrangement with the enemy of the one true God.
Kublai Khan is most anxious to learn more of Christianity, my lord.
He wishes to convert to the true faith.
No, not precisely, my lord. He's studied the doctrines of Muhammad and of Buddha, and now he wishes to study the Holy Bible. All doctrines interest him equally.
True sign of a barbarian.
Our commission is not only to Venice, my lord, but also to His Holiness, the Pope.
The Pope?
The Khan asks the Pope to send back with us 100 learned doctors of the Church, my lord.
For what purpose?
He wishes to call a great debate. And if our champions win, it'll prove that ours is the true religion.
And if they do not win?
This is a scheme to confound the representatives of Christ, to reduce them to mockery, and to force them to abjure their faith. It is a devil's device to destroy the true church.
But if the Pope gives his approval?
That is impossible. There is no Pope in Rome. There is no Pope. 3 years the Convention of Cardinals have been sitting, trying to choose a successor to His late Holiness.
So what are we going to do?
You must wait. And your master, the Khan, must wait, as we all do.
You must try to understand the Patriarch. Christianity, the only true religion, is subject to continuous threats. I share his fears, yet the weight of my responsibility is even heavier. Venice has many friends throughout the known world, but also dangerous enemies. You know what that means.
You have to spend a fortune every year to defend it, my gracious lord.
Exactly. A constant drain on our resources. What you reported to the council has made me think deeply. If the Khan's offer of peace is to be considered, if that peace can bring wealth to the Republic, then we cannot refuse it out of hand. But from you, and that is why I've asked you to stay, I want the bare truth, keeping nothing back, the truth before God.
My lord, I swear before God, every word we have said is true. And the Patriarch must believe us. With the help of the great Khan, the Pope could regain possession of the Holy Sepulchre of Christ.
Be careful, Messer Polo. Do not imagine that we have failed in our duty to take up the cross and fight in the Holy Land. The Doges, Vitale, Michiel, and Faglia, led the Venetian Crusaders against the Muslims, now called Saracens, who conquered Jerusalem. We paid tribute to the holy cause with our own blood. But now I want to speak in confidence, not to your ears, but to your souls. Venice has never denied her mercantile instincts. We have sold and are still selling arms and weapons to those same Saracens. And from them we buy spices, cloth, and precious metals. Yes, the whole question of alliances is an enormous one and difficult. One cannot make decisions on it in the same way as one does with commerce. A simple calculation of profit and loss.
We understand, my lord.
I knew that you would, or I would not have spoken. For the moment, all I can say is, return to your Khan and tell him that Venice is willing to shake the hand which he holds out to us.
Even if the Patriarch does not approve?
Our Republic wishes to keep its independence from the Church. It is not all a question of politics, nor even of trade. We are still committed, as sworn instruments of the Holy Word.
The Khan respects our religion. He's anxious to approach the Pope.
The conclave at Viterbo shows no signs of reaching an end.
Why is that, my lord?
Cardinals are divided, they quarrel among themselves, involved in the intrigues of kings and emperors. 11 of them want an Italian pope. 10 insist that he be French. News arrived yesterday that the people of Viterbo have even torn off the roof from the buildings where the cardinals meet to force them to stop their quarreling and elect a new pope.
Do you advise us to wait then, my lord?
Time seems to have stopped still in Viterbo. Only God knows when it will begin to flow again. You must leave. Go back to your Khan. Where will you make for first?
For Acre, on the coast of Galilee, my lord.
There is a godly man in Acre, Tebaldo Visconti, from Piacenza, the papal representative of the Holy Land. Take my greetings to him. He will help you.
Forgive me, my noble lord, but I fear the anger of the great Khan, Kublai. His disappointment when he sees us return with no positive results, no treaty, not even the wise priest that is expecting from the Pope. I ask myself, I ask you, our Doge, would it not perhaps be wiser to postpone our departure until...
No. You heard me. Go now. Go with God to Venice and St. Mark.